You're gonna want to see this.
This is for real? Angela and I were married.
What's that?
Most likely the girl up there. We need to find her. She's in here. Stay here.
Hey, Bigfoot, mind the goddamn vinyl.
Andrew, it's a trick.
He knows I was about to confess all to the judge.
No,
Will
wait.
you protect me? You must.
Wait, this isn't right. No way.
I assure all gathered here today that our town will be free of the Devil's grasp. Together, by God's grace, little hope will prevail. My word on it.
This court is hastily convened, but with good reason. If we are to finally rid ourselves of the evil which has infested Little Hope, then we must act today. I accuse you, Mary, of witchcraft. What say you, Reverend?
The evidence, as discovered through my investigation, is beyond question. Mary uses her puppet as a familiar to summon and serve the devil.
We have been deceived by a child, by her guise of innocence. This puppet was mistakenly to denounce Tabitha, but it has always belonged to Mary and Mary alone. She allowed her own kin to be executed as she watched in silence.
That is not so. Liar!
Now this tainted child, this creature of Satan has the marrow to accuse me, a man of God, of wrongdoing.
This is crazy. These people have lost it.
It was never my intention to bring harm to this town, or its people. Can you not help me?
What can I do? If I could do something to stop this, I would, but...
Now in her hour of greatest need,
I don't
this
see
child
how.
of the damned pleads once more for the devil's help.
I beg the court's indulgence. Please guide me at this time. I seek your counsel.
And it is the devil's instrument.
No question there's something very wrong here. Right in the heart of this place. There can be no doubt that Little Hope is afflicted. That darkness has taken hold of our town.
There is not a man or woman here today who does not already know the devil is in our midst. The sole purpose of this court is to remove evil, not indulge it further. Our time is not for wasting.
He's got it right, no question. One to go after.
How do I make my decision? If I am wrong, condemn an innocent to die. The only way I can see out of this is to get rid of that damn doll. Destroy that and... The puppet must be cast asunder. Maybe this all... It is the cause of Mary's affliction. It holds her in its thrall. Destroy this puppet, and the devil will depart Mary. She will be restored, an innocent child.
Reverend, burn the puppet. Destroy it.
You must not act in haste. The girl must face the full consequences of her
My
deeds.
authority is not for questioning. Do as I ask.
You gotta let this go. Nothing you can do now. We all done?
I'm not sure about that. I could have just made things a whole lot worse.
You see the girl? Tell me what happened.
We've seen the last of that little kid.
Thought you'd be here.
Leave me alone, will ya? I've lost everything.
You've lost everything? Are you kidding me?
Just get out of here. Go away!
You should have stayed away. I'll never forget or forgive you for what you did. There he is! There's the fucking killer!
You mean Angela? That was an accident. I thought she was one of those things.
You seem a little confused. Diverting all traffic through Little Hope. You okay, buddy? You seem a little confused.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to get these folks to where they need to be.
I doubt a short delay will trouble him too much.
Can everyone just shut up? This isn't helping us find help or getting us out of here. Hi there. How you doing? Excuse me, but we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, that's funny. Sounds like you could use a drink.
Better not, thanks. I need to keep a clear head. You shouldn't be drinking right now. I don't think it's a good idea.
Drinking's all I got left. Motherfucker, you take a goddamn shot at me? Quit hiding in there!
Get away from here! Go, you're in real danger!
I know. From you!
You'll regret it big time if you don't leave right now!
Get out here and face me like a man!
can, you chicken shit! Hey! They're coming!
I don't think he gets how bad a mess we're in.
That's it. Game over. You're done. For now, at least. You could always try again, see if you can get a different result. That's the problem with demons. If you don't lay them to rest, they will haunt you forever. Not a very happy ending. Or maybe it is. Depends on what makes you happy, really. And you eventually found him. The bus driver. Maybe he can now put the past behind him. Till we meet again. Maybe in the South Pacific, or the Arabian Desert, or somewhere else. But we will meet again. At least one more time.
Oh, what is this that I can't see with icy hands takes hold on me? I am death, none can excel. I hold the key to heaven or hell. Oh, death, won't you spare me over for another year? Oh, I have come to get your soul, to leave your body and leave it cold, to drop the flesh right off in your frame. The earth and worms both have their claim. Oh, won't you spare me over for another year? Oh death, consider my age, pray do not take me at this stage. My wealth is all at your command, and you but move your icy hand. Oh death, won't you spare me over for another year? Nor age, nor youth, nor silver, nor gold, nothing satisfies me but your soul. The old, the young, the rich, and the poor, alike with me will have to go. Oh death, won't you spare me over for another year? Oh death, won't you spare me over for another year? Oh death, won't you spare me over for another year?
You believe in God?
Absolutely not. We'll start believing. We are under attack by
I don't know what. You wouldn't believe me even if I tried. Hell, I don't believe it and I was there.
In Sumerian myth, they say the souls of the dead went deep underground to the House of Ashes, where they lived on dust, plagued by the demons of the underworld.
happened? The bus crashed. We're okay, though. Just shaken up.
I don't remember being in any crash.
Well, here we are on set of Little Hope, part of the Dark Pictures anthology. Tell me about the characters you play in the game.
Yeah, very exciting. I play Andrew, who is a student on this trip to the town of Little Hope.
You know this place?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
I also play Anthony and I play Abraham, all existing at different time periods in different places.
Is it tough to balance at all and to kind of jump back between these characters as you go through it?
A little bit. I've had a lot of help along the way, and we've been able to, for the most part, separate the three different guys. We have an amazing accent coach on set at all times, so she keeps me in check and puts me on the right part of the map when I stray too far.
Only the devil could create a demon who so resembles me. We do look alike, which I agree is pretty damn weird.
How tough is it for you to separate that and balance it all?
Yeah, it's interesting. Andrew, being the character that I embody for most of the time, was a little bit easier for me. I related to him naturally. He's this socially awkward, repressed student, and I certainly as a student was pretty socially awkward and repressed, so I could relate to him a great deal.
You seem uncomfortable around kids your own age.
This trip is actually my first time away from home.
Oh, you picked a real beauty.
Yeah, well, if I ever make it back, I'll sure have something to talk about.
The other character, Anthony, is slightly more immature, comes from a big family. I can also relate to that. And dealing with the family dynamic and playing that sibling friction was also something that I think a lot of people can relate to. And that was fun. Another sort of element of the challenge, which I really enjoyed. And then there's Abraham, is the third character that I'm responsible for.
We have to stop this. The only madness is right here in this court.
And the nice thing that exists in all three of them is this motivation to do good, to do right. And I think all three characters I really had admiration for. They seem to be like morally adept, and it's important to respect, I think, the characters that you play, or at least identify something within them that you respect. And I respected all three of the guys that I played.
I know what must be done here.
And they're all so very different, and even the level of the accents change between them. Is that something that's challenging to navigate?
Yeah, that's been really fun. For me, it's been when playing Andrew, I've been doing a relatively neutral American accent, but we sort of base most of the action in New England, so it does lean towards the East Coast, and it doesn't take on too strong of a characterization in either direction. The vocal work for Anthony is similar to that, but because Anthony lives within the 1970s, there's been a little bit of tweaking to the accent in order to accommodate the times. And then Abraham's an entirely different accent. It's been a bit of guesswork as far as constructing that accent, because there's no recordings of what people sounded like at that time. But I suppose the closest thing to it, we imagine, is a kind of Northern English accent. And my dad's from Yorkshire, so I've basically been ripping off what my dad sounded like when he was younger.
She talked in this really weird accent. Was that even American?
And also with the process itself is a huge, like a learning curve, like you say, with the performance capture. What's the process been like for you? Have you been able to adapt? Do you feel at home now wearing the helmet? And
yeah, it's funny. I mean, it presents a whole host of challenges. It can get a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
After a while, it can get a little uncomfortable. You never forget the first time you go for a wee wearing that headset, thinking, am I on some sort of screen somewhere in a studio right now? Can people see me weeing? But you soon get used to the headset and the pack that you're wearing. And I think the best thing you can do is try and remove that from the equation entirely and just make it about looking at the person opposite you. Some of the more physical stuff is challenging, because if you do want to move around and you do want to add a physical performance to whatever facial, emotional things that are being captured, you have to be careful that the sound isn't being compromised because of your movements. But, you know, in lots of ways it's been quite freeing too. We move at a great pace. There's little repetition over the same thing. There's lots of variation, but little repetition really. And we have an opportunity to move freely about the space pretty much. We're not confined to marks, and we don't have to relight every single moment. It's go, go, go. It's been 100 miles per hour, and I've loved the intensity of it. It's been great.
But we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, that's funny.
What's up with the fog outside? It's pretty weird.
Sure is a thick one tonight.
Actually, it's so thick it's stopping us from leaving.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
You're, trapped here too, then?
I'm good.
It's a whole different pace, I feel, than what you normally when you're setting up a scene and you shoot front to back, and then now it's kind of like you're just jumping in and you're just like stop, start, stop, start. It must be kind of refreshing in a way.
100%, yeah. You can start in the morning and by lunch you've died and come back to life 4 or 5 times, whereas on a film set you would have had to shoot for several weeks to get that material. So you do blast through a ton of content.
Run! Get the hell out of there! Look out!
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see yourself in a video game. It's gonna be an incredible experience too. And then now your friends and family members can like play you in a game. That must be a whole weird feeling.
Yeah, that is really weird. It's strange enough seeing my face on screen in anything, but you're really mad and exciting, I guess, to think about being in a video game. I guess that's like a little kid's dream in lots of ways, so I feel very lucky.
It's incredible. And your friends are going to call you, but like, I killed you.
Yeah, I killed you 3 times. They're like, good to speak to you too, bud. Yeah, thanks for the call.
Would you confront your fears or would you run away?
I want to say confront my fears. After this experience, I would confront my fears. Maybe previously I would have run away.
What kind of place is this?
It's one of those things where what you think you'll do is different than what you probably actually do.
In the moment, yeah, 100%.
Oh, I would confront my fears and then you're gone.
Gone. Yeah.
And lastly, would you explore on your own or in a group?
In a group, I'd have to. One of the best things about this experience has just been the camaraderie that's developed amongst the cast, and over a short period of time, shooting at this intensity, it's bonded us together really quickly, and I've loved being part of the team. A group of us in one room on this crazy journey together, so it's all about exploring as a team.
I'm just gonna say it. This is exactly what goes down in horror movies.
Well, plus than anything in the horror genre, we know what happens when you go off on your own, right?
100%. Don't do it.
They still do it.
And they still do it.
Let's go check out that room over there.
No, don't go check out that room.
Nope.
Don't go check out.
Or bring someone with you.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go.
All right, Will.
Tanner, thanks
a lot. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Cheers.
I just saw someone in the woods. Okay, very good. We're freaked. Who's there?
Whoever you are, this isn't funny at all.
The demons are an integral part of the story of Little Hope. It's the crux of a lot of the things that happen, and that informs a large part of what we're doing. The starting point for each of the demons was the style of execution. They're based on a character that gets killed. That then informs how the character behaves, how it moves, how it sounds, and those are all brought together to give us that convincing, terrifying demon.
In order to make convincing demons, you need to ground them in nature. So what we do is we use our understanding of anatomy and our deep understanding of biomechanics and the principles of the way things move and the way things actuate, and we apply this to the demon design. We obviously start with the production design. The production design is a drowned demon. What we need to do then is look for extra reference. We have to look at stuff like autopsies. We'd look at what happens to the skin when it gets exposed to water for a long time. We have to look at creatures from underwater. We look at various types of fish. Loads of images and real-world reference helps, although it's slightly gruesome.
This particular demon we're looking at is the one that's been hung. We didn't want to show the whole of this character, and right from the beginning we said, let's focus on the areas which are the most terrifying. And so the overall silhouette of the character was to be like this twisted rope. Her limbs had coiled, and so we were exaggerating the metaphor of this hanging. 1,000 years of being trailed along the ground, it had worn away her feet, the bones being worn down, the nails being broken off. She'd been in pain for a long time. The most key of all of the elements was the face and how we framed that, and that was that broken, twisted neck, one eye remaining, a tear coming out because it's that last remains of her soul. The noose was digging into her neck, and her tongue was actually so bloated and grown that actually became a feature for us in the game, that tongue actually becomes a grapple to get hold of some of the characters.
To animate a demon, we would start with looking at how they walk or move forward. Some of them are dragging themselves, and then also how they would attack their victims, just flesh out the layout and the choreography of it. Mocap is a big help. Obviously, it's a lot faster than keyframing from scratch. So we decided to use it as a base for some of them, and then we would layer on top of that all the characteristics that bring them to life, even though they're dead.
The Crush Demon in particular was difficult to work with because we weren't able to use motion capture footage, so that is going to be completely hand animated. So that meant we were really starting from scratch. All the other demons, we did use actors' footage, so we have a lot of actors with spikes tied to them, limping across the scene.
Let's get the fuck out of here!
On the Broke Demon, we asked the actor to use various props to try and achieve the sort of movement that we wanted. And I think he did a great job. It was really successful. We've had to, again, add on to that to help with the weight and the believability.
We take our initial cues for the sound of the demons from the visuals, and they look fantastic. But then we have to take the sound of the demons beyond the visuals to give them a really strong otherworldly presence. We need each of the demons to be individually recognisable whilst maintaining that uncomfortable unfamiliarity for the player.